Good morning and welcome to our summer webinar series. My name is Katie Glasgow and I am a Blue Diamond leader in doTERRA. And this morning we have a very special treat for you. We're going to be talking about essential oils and emotions. So this is something that I had actually never really used essential oils for when I first started using essential oils. I use them a lot for my kiddos with their, sore bottoms and their cuts and their scrapes and bruises and all that kind of good fun stuff. But I never actually used essential oils in an emotional way. About 2 years into my journey, I discovered that essential oils could actually help in a big way emotionally. At the time, my husband, Jeff, who has now joined me in the business, was actually traveling a lot. And he lived in another state and he would come home on the weekends a couple times a month. And so our kids were really struggling with that and really having a hard time that daddy was away most of the time. And our lives were a little bit chaotic and crazy. And so I learned that I could use essential oils to support their little emotions so they weren't having quite as many meltdowns and they could more easily cope with daddy being away. And it opened my eyes to a whole new world and a whole new way in which to use essential oils. And so this is a topic that's near and dear to my heart. And today we have the great honor and pleasure of having Dina Jensen present to us on essential oils and emotions. Dina is not only one of our beautiful silver leaders on our Powerfully Essential team, but she is also a dear friend of mine. We've actually been friends since we were little girls. And there's a lot of times that I wish we would have had these essential oils when we were growing up, because I think it would have made our teenage years and our early childhood a lot easier sometimes. But now I'm really honored that I get to have Dina share with you today some tips and tricks on how to use essential oils for your emotions and why they play such a huge role in our health. So I am going to actually turn it over to Dina now. There you go.
Hi. So I'm so happy to be with you all today. I guess to start out, this is a super that is near and dear to me simply because of the issues I've had in my life. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, but I just wanted to thank Katie for allowing me to do this. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychotherapist. What I am is a simple person who has had a lot of issues after a motor vehicle accident when I was 15. So for about 25 years, I was on a whole lot of roller coaster emotional issues after issues with chronic pain. And it was really something that I would never want anybody to have to go through, especially a teenager. It's such a difficult time in your life anyway, to have all those other things thrown in there. Oils simply have been a lifesaver for me, and I'm honored to talk about that with you today, and hopefully point in your life where you're ready to learn about something. So just look at things with an open mind, and we are going to hopefully explore some really fabulous information today. So we're going to start off talking about simply my purpose. So really, what makes me qualified to talk to you today? Probably not a whole lot, but just know that I'm very, very passionate about emotional wellness and how this can really affect the person that you are with and the kind of environment that we raise our children in. And let's face it, this next slide is kind of describes a lot of what my adult life was. Pretty blank. For many years of my adult life, I was living, but I didn't really feel alive. I felt blank. I felt empty. I felt like I was just kind of going through the motions. And let's face it, we live in a quitting culture. We quit our jobs, we quit school, we quit marriages. Some people choose to quit life. So I'm thankful that you're here with me today to learn something to better your life. Maybe it's not yours in your life who could be positively impacted with this information. So I can say with great certainty that doTERRA has opened doors that I never imagined possible. It started with my physical health, which eventually had a serious impact on my emotional health. Now my mission is to help others, educating people who feel trapped and suffocated, that there are safer options, safe and natural options that are readily available to you. So whatever inspired you to tune in today, thanks for listening to your intuition and stepping out of your comfort box, and I'm hoping that you find, with this information, you're able to find the best version of yourself. So what is an essential oil? An essential oil is simply natural aromatic compounds found in the flowers, leaves, stems, bark, and roots of plants. If you smell the fragrant aroma of a plant, you're smelling the essential oil that has evaporated off of the plant. Rubbing your fingers across the peppermint leaf, that's the essential oil. A pure essential oil extract contains the aromatic compounds of a plant. So typically, essential oils are removed from freshly harvested around the world. This material goes through a process of steam distillation. That's how we get our essential oils. And although they're very, very concentrated, they can be used safely in small amounts with very powerful benefits without the fear of side effects. So now that we know what an essential oil is, how can we use it? Aromatically, you can diffuse it in a room to purify the air or change an emotion. This can be simply placing a few drops in your hand and smelling. Topically, applying directly to the skin. Some essential oils can also be used internally for targeted wellness benefits. Today we're going to dive into a little bit more about the history of aromatherapy, not only in a physical way, but also how we can support our emotional well-being. So what the heck is aromatherapy? The use of plant-derived aromatic compounds to promote physical and psychological well-being. Although the term wasn't coined until about the 20th century, aromatherapy has been used to influence emotions for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks, Roman, and Chinese that you see in these pictures, along with Native Americans, used essential oils for rituals and religious practices because they could recognize the oil's ability to influence how they were feeling. Heck, if you look back even like 100 years ago when our grandparents' generation, they didn't have a 24-hour Walmart down the block. They used what they could find in nature. This guy right here looks like he needs some essential oils. This is Hippocrates. He's known as the father of modern medicine. He said 2,500 years ago that the key to good health rests on having a daily aromatic bath and a scented massage. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Now, I don't know many of us that can fit that into our daily crazy schedules, but he really knew what he was talking about when he was suggesting those things. So by the 16th century, printed books were readily available and gave rise to a new era of progress and the spread of aromatherapy knowledge. So this German guy, a physician named Hieronymus Braunschweig, wrote several books on essential oil distillation 2,500 years ago. You can see the picture distilling essential oils from plants that he recognized having medicinal benefits. In his literature, he references 25 essential oils, including rosemary, lavender, clove, and nutmeg. About aromatherapy, we are just beginning to understand the connection between scent and emotions. It wasn't until the early 1990s that biologists began to understand these complex chemical sensors. Recently, this is just crazy. The olfactory sensors that we have in our nose that help us to smell were not only discovered to be present in our nose, but also in our skin. How amazing is that? So this discovery opens huge possibilities for future research using essential oils. The bottom line is that scent is an amazingly powerful tool that we can use to influence our lives in a multitude of ways. I'm going to share a staggering statistic with you. There are 120 million people last year written antidepressant medications. So people are in need of hope. I think that God answers our prayers through the help of other people, and living small really serves no one. So part of my purpose today is sharing this information. I really, truly believe that God created our bodies to be self-healing, but because we don't eat an adequate, balanced diet, we have too much stress, we have a combination of factors in our environment that lead to other toxicities. We are so unbalanced, we don't even know what it feels like to feel good anymore. So we're going to move on to learn a little bit more. What exactly are emotions? Emotions are complex reactions to stimuli that differ from person to person. Before we talk about some of the benefits that aromatherapy can have on our emotions, let's first define what that is. The short answer is we don't entirely know. Some days it's your teenage daughter sobbing because her hair isn't perfect, even though you think she's beautiful. Sometimes it's the inconsolable despair after the loss of a loved one. Some days it's the 2-year-old having a meltdown in the grocery store because he hasn't learned how to express himself yet. Most scientists do agree that emotions are complex reactions to stimuli that differ from person to person. Every human being is going to experience emotions in different ways because of our own unique personalities and specific circumstances. Have you ever wondered why a simple smell can provoke a strong emotion or trigger a specific memory? Does the smell of fresh baked ginger snaps remind you of Grandma Katie? Does a sniff of Polo cologne remind you of your high school crush? Here's how it works. Because of the complexities of the human brain, certain aromas can elicit emotions by triggering memories that stimulate an emotional response. The concept, known as Proust's phenomenon, suggests that although we all have different memories and experiences, everyone has the ability to experience a distinct response when inhaling different aromas. So that internal response that occurs when we inhale is called aromatic pathway. This pathway connects the aroma to different areas of our brain, triggering emotional responses. Those little snippers in our nose, the olfactory system, is connected to our limbic system. This is the area of the brain where memories and emotions are stored. The limbic system produces a specific response based on the memories with a specific smell. Because these two areas in the brain are so closely tied together, it helps make the relationship between smells and moods, scents and memories very, very strong. So how do we keep our emotions light? It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day activities that we forget what it's like to take care of ourselves. Remember what our passions are, things that bring us joy. Always, always remember to take the time to reconnect with whatever it is for you. Your hobbies, staying active, sharing your feelings, meditation, exercise, taking some time for you, but specifically aromatherapy. How important is your emotional well-being? Emotional health refers to psychological and emotional well-being. When we're emotionally healthy, the rest of our body is healthy as well. The amazing Dr. Hill reinforces the idea that when we are emotionally well, we handle life's challenges, build healthy, strong relationships, and recover from disappointment. So think about your kids when they are dealing with the day-to-day chaos of a young child and nervous about a new school or anxious about relationships or peer pressure or trying to fit in. Child was created specifically to be unique and special on their own. I really, really believe that the essential oils help us to find what our true passions are and who that specific person we were meant to be, and to find our purpose and to play that out. So, how many of us has feelings like this throughout our day? I think I just need a few juggling balls in there and it would be me. Did you know that on average, every single day we have about 4,000 thoughts that enter our mind? 4,000. In addition to that, there are countless events that occur during our life that can cause us to feel unbalanced, a little bit off, unfocused, sometimes downright depressed. The most important thing to know is that you know your body better than anybody else. So please consult your physician if you think that medical intervention is necessary. My point is that any number of life events can cause an upset in our emotional health. A move, the loss of a loved one, a divorce, a new school, a marriage, a new job, a new sibling. That might be for you, it is completely normal for us to have feelings of despair. It's part of the journey and it's part of how we heal. The best part is we have wonderful tools available to us. I always like to think of a carpenter. Go to a big job with just a hammer and a tape measure. They would probably laugh at him. Heck no. He's got an arsenal of tools in his truck to get the job done efficiently and effectively. So how in the world are we supposed to manage all of those 4,000 thoughts without having the tools to deal with them? Let me introduce to you emotional aromatherapy. These are 6 amazing proprietary essential oil blends specifically formulated representing 6 categories of emotional well-being. Not only are they amazing in their chemical properties and what they can do to support our emotional wellness, but they also come in these beautiful rainbow of colors. So these essential oils were specifically designed to help us improve our emotional health, counteract heavy emotions, and increase a light mood. These are essential in your arsenal, in your toolbox, in your methodology of conquering your day. Key points to know about the design and application of these 6 emotional blends. They're naturally complex, fragrant blends containing pure therapeutic-grade essential oils. They can be used aromatically or topically, and they're a simple, profound approach to emotional aromatherapy. We're going to take some time to dive into each one specifically and figure out how exactly we can use them now that we know what those tools are. This wheel is a fantastic tool to help us figure out how we're feeling. Sometimes we just are feeling off. We are feeling not ourselves. But how do we take that to the next step and incorporate essential oils? We can use the oil to balance and brighten our mood, let go of burdens, find comfort and encouragement, and inspire dreaming with passion. All of the oils that we're going to talk about can be used in your diffuser. You can apply 1 or 2 drops into your palm. Put it in front of your nose and inhale deeply. Just remember not to touch your eyes. You can also dilute and apply them topically to aromatherapy touch points, such as the back of your neck, on the wrist, over your heart. Also, the elbow crease is a nice place to apply. So, we've got our oils. Which one should I use? This amazing wheel takes the guesswork out of that question. First, let's take a closer look at the emotional aromatherapy wheel. We will use this as a reference point as we go through each of the 6 blends. This wheel is available on the doTERRA website. It's just super nice to have as a reference, not only for yourself, but also for your kids. Sometimes they feel just icky or they're not sure exactly why, but if they can identify that feeling with one of the feelings in the middle of the wheel, here in this lavender area, maybe you're feeling discouraged or gloomy. Maybe you're feeling bitter or angry. Are you sad or grieving? Maybe you're feeling fearful or anxious. The first step in using the essential oils is to determine what exactly you're feeling. Once we determine the feeling, we can see that often those categories can be fit into specific categories: mint, citrus, spices, herbs and grasses, trees, and florals, and the specific essential oils that have been formulated with those properties. So what oil should you use? Those different categories that we talked about often have different properties depending on the oil. So the mints tend to be energizing. Citrus oils are often uplifting. Because essential oils are produced from plants, it's often useful to divide them into these categories. Most frequently, we hear how the oils can be used for those different purposes. For instance, many spice essential oils like cinnamon or clove are described as having a warming effect. What should you use? It's back to that, what emotions am I currently feeling? How do I want to feel? Take a look on that wheel to discover what those emotions might be. Maybe it's something that's happening just today. Maybe it's something that's been going on for quite a while. Maybe it's an issue that you've been carrying with you for years. What would be the counteracting feeling of your identified emotion? What would you rather be feeling? Are you frustrated at home or work? You have setbacks in spite of your best efforts, shaking your confidence? Has misplaced trust left you cynical more often than your best self should be? Then Motivate Encouraging Blend is for you. It can help you to unleash your creative powers, find courage, and believe in yourself. Motivate Encouraging Blend is a combination of peppermint that promotes healthy respiratory function and clear breathing. It also alleviates stomach upset, promotes digestion, it aids in a healthy insulin response, and it soothes joint and muscle pain. It's great for soothing sore muscles and joints. It assists with clear breathing, cooling agent, and it promotes mental alertness and lessens anxiety. Leaf is a beautiful oil that helps to support a healthy immune system. It also calms tension in nerves. Rosemary leaf supports healthy digestion. It soothes muscle aches and pains and helps reduce nervous tension and fatigue. The yuzu peel is a citrus aroma that kind of resembles a combination of mandarin and grapefruit. But the great thing with the yuzu is that it's not photosensitive, so you don't have to be cautious when wearing it in the sun. It's mood elevating, freshens the mind. So we can see from the middle of the wheel that the feelings associated when using these oils might be anxious, insecurity, or maybe feeling a little bit discouraged. If we go out on the wheel a little bit further, we can see that the citrus and mint oils help us to overcome that. The citrus and mint oils are the oils specifically formulated to make up the Motivate Encouraging blend. Motivate, we can experience light emotions, feelings of confidence, courage, belief, and trust. Think of the things you can accomplish when you're feeling confident, courageous, and trusting. Are you feeling a little bit down? Time to get over the same old bumps and challenges? Are you feeling stuck with where you are at in your life? Can anybody identify with these? No, I certainly can. You can nurture a bright disposition and attitude with Cheer Uplifting Blend. This sunshiny, fresh, optimistic aroma can brighten any moment of your day. The Cheer Uplifting Blend is a combination of some beautiful citrus and spice oils. Clove, star anise, lemon myrtle, nutmeg, cinnamon. All of these oils promote amazing feelings of wellness. We can feel a little bit gloomy and distressed, maybe a little bit bored. But after applying some Cheer Uplifting Blend, we can have feelings of optimism, bright and cheerfulness, feeling light and happy. I love using a blend of the Cheer and the Motivate together in a roller bottle. It is one of the first things that I apply in the morning. I simply love it. I encourage you to give that a try at some point in time. The next oil maybe you might need if you've lost your mojo, forgotten your why, or maybe lost your passion. Do any of these feelings resonate? You can rekindle your passion by blend. Do something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Maybe discover renewed joy for the blessings that you have in your life. Maybe it will give you the opportunity to take a chance and experience something new that you've always wanted to do. Passion blend is a combination of cardamom, sandalwood, jasmine, and damena, also known as Mexican holly. The Mayan Indians actually used this to support normal sexual response in men and women. So the Passion Blend really has oils that kind of fit into that spice, herb, and grasses category, helping to counteract feelings of being bored, discontented, and angry. Using the passion blend helps us to feel daring, exciting, passionate, and joyful. This is one that I love to use in the unscented doTERRA lotion. People giggle and think of bedroom passion, but I really love how it kind of sparks that creative joy, kind of finding the time that you need to seek out those things that bring you passion in you. So think of it as finding your why, your purpose. It really is awesome to use on your children as well, just to help them get over some boundaries, sometimes that are preset for them. Are you carrying a burden? Are you tired of feeling resentful, maybe bitter? Giving. You can move to a lighter place with Forgive Renewing Blend. You can discover the liberating actions of forgiving, forgetting, and moving on. And how many of us have something that we can forgive and forget about? This is a combination of spruce, bergamot, juniper, myrrh, arborvitae, thyme, and nut-tree, along with citronella. It comes from the families with the trees, herbs, and grasses. So anytime we have feelings of discontentment, bitter, angry, grieving, feeling sad or ashamed, we can reach for the Forgive Renewing Blend. It can bring about light emotions, feeling of content, relief, feeling charitable, patient, and acceptance. It also can help us be more accepting of others or difficult situations. Have you lost someone or something you love? Are there unspoken words or unanswered questions that keep you worried and unsettled? Then Console Comforting Blend may be the oil that can soothe your broken heart, ease you through sadness, and open your heart towards emotional healing. Console Comforting Blend is a combination of frankincense, patchouli, and rose. We can see that this comes from the floral and tree group, helping to console feelings of worry, hurt, grieving, and sadness. Those feelings of worry can be counteracted by Console, helping you to feel more hopeful, healed, and comforted. Are you having a hard time staying focused on the task at hand? You need everything to be perfect. Are you a recovering perfectionist? Do you have anxious moments leaving you feeling overwhelmed and afraid? Slow down and take a deep breath of Peace Reassuring Blend. You do not have to be perfect to find peace. God created each of us with specific attributes to be perfectly perfect the way we are. It's up to us to learn how to find our beauty and share that with other people. Everything turning out fine begins with believing that it will. This beautiful combination contains vetiver, lavender, ylang-ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, labdanum, and spearmint. So identifying the emotions associated with those plant families: apathetic, feeling insecure and anxious, fearful, worried, or hurt. With the use of this beautiful essential oil, we can feel composed, content, peaceful, calm, and reassured. It's amazing how quickly those overwhelming feelings of anxiousness can resolve to calm and peacefulness in a matter of moments. So here's my tip. Not all blends in this line are going to appeal to everyone. You may open one up and decide that you really don't care for it much at all. Sometimes you might find that you love the chemical components and what the oil can do for you, but you're not fond of the aroma. So here's another tip. The greatest advice I ever received when using essential oils is that I can't screw it up. As long as I'm using them safely, in a safe manner, I am free to play with different combinations until I find what works for me. Find that you desire the emotional help of a specific oil, but it's not really working, or you don't like the aroma, you can use those benefits. For instance, if you don't like forgive, you can look on the wheel and see that passion and console are on both sides of forgive. So using them together would also combat those heavy feelings that forgive would. As you love for the benefits that you need. Don't be afraid to experiment. So just like the carpenter's toolbox, you can have the tools in your home to take care of situations when your family needs your help. It is truly amazing to be able to empower homes to have a choice. The best part of this is remembering to keep yourself, your own cup full, so that you can pour into others. It really starts with small changes. Little shifts can bring about big changes. So my question for you today is, what do you want to bring to your world? Refer to this emotional oil wheel when you're feeling any of those discontentment, negative emotional feelings, and see what you can do to counteract those with doTERRA's emotional aromatherapy oils. Thanks for sharing with us today. Please follow powerfullyessential.com or the Powerfully Essential with Facebook for more tips and tricks and future educational opportunities. Thanks for sharing today. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Dina, for all of that great information. Are you guys all excited to use emotional oils now? I know that for myself, I actually made a roller blend for my little boy who started school, and it included passion and motivate, to give him motivation and passion in school this year and to keep him energized. So I'm really excited for all of you guys, all of you that listen to this, to start incorporating essential oils for emotions more into your life. I hope that you check out this webinar and so many more that we have at our Powerfully Essential YouTube channel, and check out our powerfullyessential.com page to see more upcoming events in your area, and get out there and use your oils. Let's all get oily and spread the love around the world, and show people that we do have options and they do have a better way. I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you next week on our final webinar of our summer webinar series.